and I can't take it anymore. I don't wanna hear, I don't wanna know. Please don't say forgive me. I've heard it all before, and I can't take it anymore. Please don't say you're sorry. I know it's possible, and I can take it anymore. Hello guys, so today's a new day and what's the difference between this video and the other one where I technically for many people I show the same thing. So the difference here is that the models I'm using are different. So yesterday I made a video of Deneve using these two swords, these two models and textures with two different weapons, separate weapons which could be also used as a single ones. But today I pushed myself to the limit. Now it's not a real limit, but I mean I wanted to try something, and with a couple of try it worked without any specific effort. So basically in this game there is a particular weapon which who has the game knows it, who doesn't. Is this one. So it's Star Scourge Greatsword. So it's basically the original model works exactly the same, it's just a different texture, model and texture. So it just basically works the same. So if you wanna use just one sword, you use one sword. And when you activate the special ability, even if you are one-handed, the sword goes in your hand and then it goes back. It's basically a buff or something. And when you try to equip the first weapon, like the one you have in the hand with two hands, you cannot because it takes the other one in the hand. So this is a special animation. So basically you cannot use one sword with two hands. You can just use one or two weapons. So this is perfect for Deneve. In this moment I don't know if I'm gonna replace the Star Scorch Radan blades, because I don't know, it will feel strange to see a boss, because this is the weapon of a boss. So it will be like strange to see him carrying these two claymores. So I will try to just place this model with another number somewhere else. I will just use the same package for another model. So the boss will have his own swords, and then I will have its own other one. So how does this work? Basically, when I have two-handed, I can parry like this, and when I'm single-handed, it just, yeah. It would be nice to have the kick instead of the punch, because Deneve also uses the kick one or two times. So, but never mind. So the problem is that I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep the same animation, which is this one, or change it, or just modify this one. So we'll see. But because this was just a quick idea that came to me, and here it is. So it worked. So basically, if I parry, I use the other weapon, and if I want to attack regularly with attack, this is light attack. This is heavy attack. I don't know if there is like a kind of a special motion, like this is really a special motion, double heavy attack. So it's good for Deneve. I mean, we don't even need to change the animation, I think. The only thing that is missing actually from like the difference between, like I can show you the difference between having two single on two different hands and this model. So let's say I don't know this one and this one. I don't know, just random. So let's just change model. So this is one and this is the other. Okay, so it's just two different swords. They have two different animation. So in this case, if I try to parry, I cannot parry. So usually you cannot parry with two swords unless they have a specific animation for it. So you try to parry and it's attacking with a double, which I love this because it does a lot of damage and I love the animation itself. So, and I also love this animation, which is the one that is missing from the other model. So, and when I try to heavy attack, it does a thrust attack. I love it. I honestly prefer this animation in honesty, but as you can see, oh, and I love the kick. So yeah, I think I have my answer for what I want for Deneve. So I will probably switch back to this one. But I just wanted to show you, you know, like, no, it's 3. Jesus. But it's nice, look what a combo, like. So I'm now thinking if there is someone else using double claymores, but I don't think so. So now she's having 3 swords. That's funny, I wouldn't expect it. I thought one was going to disappear, so. And when I try to just unequip one, it just changes the weapon. Unless I do this. It's fun. Okay, so. Oh, and this is interesting. If I'm using. Now I'm having the Radan version, which is the first one I show you today, in the right hand, with its twin on the back, and just another claymore on the left. So if I try to parry, it does attack only with the left one. If I regularly attack, yeah, they are also different models, so this is actually a Colossal, which is heavier, but don't worry about that, it's easy to fix. Just, okay, so if I try to parry with this setup, it does this motion, which is new to me. It does make sense though. What happens if I jump? Nothing. That's the problem. And if I switch back to the regular double, if I try to parry, it does the double attack, which I love. But I also love the idea to be able to change. That's interesting. Maybe with my new friend, we can do something. Maybe mix the animations. Yeah, but that's something that, yeah, I cannot ask him today, so we will do in future maybe. But yeah, it's giving me an idea. So like having this one, being able to do like a lighter attack and maybe a heavier attack. The problem is that the jumping and attack is missing. And what was again? Oh, and if I... No, sorry, my bad. So what happens if I place Radan in the left? No, that's not Radan. What happens if I have Radan in the left, which means Deneve's sword? That's interesting. So there is no parry. There is the kick. I don't know why I have the kick. Because this weapon has the kick. What's the matter? Yeah, but it looks so cool. But this is probably happening also if I do in the other way. Like, yeah, that's probably gonna happen anyway. Yeah, I have to find a way to have the kick on Deneve. I want the kick on Deneve. So okay, so now basically I'm using this one and this one, these two, which is this is a double sword by default, and this is a single sword, and this is another single sword, which is not shown in this moment. It's just in the menu here. So if I swap, it goes to this one. And what I'm trying to do now is to use two single blades basically, which is these two, and not this one. Now I have these two, and I'm trying to place them both on the back, which I don't know if it's possible, but it's just basically switching from one to another. Yeah, so in this setup, it's not possible to have them both on the back. I mean, it looks cool in any case. I'm just sometimes it triggers, this game triggers new ideas, and yeah. So what happens if, oops, I'm bad. Let's use two twins so it's easier to just for the fun of the video, let's go and kick someone. I'm sorry it's always the same, but because I'm learning characters. Okay, so this is how it works, this kind of build with with basically these two. And even if it doesn't look powerful, the kick is awesome because it basically interrupts the enemy and it lets you attack him basically. So and it's pretty fast, it doesn't require too much. So if you basically time it right, you can destroy the enemy. It's not something super powerful. It's basic, but in its basics. So if I go like this and I attack, I still have this kind of attack, which reminds both Deneve and Undine attack. So okay, this is probably the first option, but. What happens if I switch back this to the main hand, this one goes away, technically. Okay, so, this is what I wanted to see. What the? Okay, now it's 2, I can parry. Okay, probably I can leave both options. So in this way, Deneve can use this setup. Like basically, of course, it would have a different icon here. So she can basically use like this setup is for the awakened version, like when she's not awakened, sorry, released version. for intense fighting, so she can parry because she's using some Yoki release. And she can boost herself and, and do heavy attacks like this, and combine them and parry and be able to parry. I like it. And technically, if I do like this, she's carrying both swords in the back, and I love it. Like, this is amazing to be reached in a game like this, which I mean no other games gives you the chance to do these things, honestly. I mean I'm not, or I wasn't, or I'm not like a Elden Ring fan or Dark Souls generally, but the options that gives you in terms of also this kind of things are awesome. I mean, this is also why it's sometimes complicated to mod it, because the animations are they work in a sometimes in a tricky way, so it, it's very particular, let me say. So okay, so then this is an option, and you can basically, yeah, put both on the back. In the other case, you can't. You just can hold. So I switch the main weapon, and I have a regular claymore or just a single claymore, and then I put another one. This is probably not required. Let's just move it to the end. That's basically used for magics, which we will not have magics, but we will need to place the regeneration somehow. So it will have to be a magic. There is no other way, actually. It's not a real magic. It will have another name, but in the end, it's it's a magic as like as how it works in the game. So, or maybe we can create an ability that regenerates health. Why not? That's also an option. There are abilities that life steals life steals the life of enemies, so yeah, it's also possible. But in that case, we are gonna lose. Oh, maybe, okay, now I have an idea. Now I have the idea. So we can place the regeneration Ash of War technique on this one. So I was saying that this is like when I'm having this setup, which is the new one I'm showing today, which is Rodan basically. We can change this. Maybe we can change it to a regenerative, like when I do this. And we can also change the animation and the visual effect. Not for the original, just for the duplicate we are making. When I activate this ability, it regenerates the life of Deneve fully. It doesn't matter how much it is, so it's just go to full. But it has to consume at least a third of. Now if you look at the orange bar, it takes just a bit to regenerate, which is okay, but it's a little bit too few. I mean, it should consume a little bit more to regenerate, so she doesn't need any health potions technically. Yeah, that's cool. That's an idea. So this, I'm happy that I made this video. So I also recorded the idea, and that's fine. That's perfect. So okay. Okay. So and this, but this, so basically, I'm thinking, huh? So since basically, okay, Deneve can always regenerate. So Because in the other case, the problem is that if we use a magic, when you want to use the magic, you have to switch to this red item or a similar one in the left hand and choose the proper magic, which in this case is urgent heal, for example, to heal yourself. So it's a little bit different. So in the first case, the first, like the original ability of those swords is like a buff, I think. In the second option, like my option, it can be exchanged with a regenerative, which I like honestly. And in this other option, we can do something else. So I want to change the heal, because the problem is that the bigger heals are group healing, and Deneve is not a healer. She can just heal herself, so... But anyway, it doesn't matter, it's just for testing for the moment, so... But you can just put one, what I wanted to show you is that you can just put one healing spell or one spell in the magic slots, so you don't have to switch to something else, you just have to switch to the object to activate the magic, whatever the magic is. So yeah. Okay, so it's a lot of good ideas. The only thing, okay, maybe we will be able to use this model, changing some part of the animation of the sword in a way that it can parry, kick, maybe, I don't know how, honestly. Yeah. So it's regenerative or kick. So, but Deneve basically picks up Undine sword just after Pieta. So before that moment, she's using a single claymore. So in that case, she has the kick, but no regenerative ability. So that's the problem. That's the problem. And she does have the ability from the beginning. This is why I was originally thinking of a spell. I honestly prefer the idea to have like the ability on the sword, like that's her ability. In fact, she doesn't have a specific attack abilities or something. The only technique that she has is the double sword use and the regenerative. That's it. She doesn't have anything else. So technically, we just lose the kick, and maybe my friend can fix the jump attack animation, which is lost here, and I think this is possible because I think technically it's just one more animation in the set. I think I have to ask him because I don't know. So, but potentially I think it's possible to have both the parry, and when you try to parry jumping, it should be attack, but probably that's the problem. Or otherwise we can transfer. Okay, because this weapon has a special motion. So it does it, but not with the parry button, but with the regular light attack button. And if I use the parry, it does use no, sorry. If I use the jump head, yeah, it's a jump head. The light is this. So okay, maybe it's easier than I think, and it's just a matter of changing the animation category or something. So I'm not expert on this part, so I ask, but I think it's easy. Okay, so I think this should be it. Oh, I just want to see how this weapon does against enemies. Yeah, it's a box weapon, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely OP. I mean, yeah, we don't have magics, I know, and we will not have I'm just not removing because in this moment there are no other options for healing, so, no, there are actually, but yeah, they're still there. It's the basically the setup I mean, before, so okay. That's good, I'm gonna close this one, and thank you guys, and let me know if you want to tell me something.